Okay. Hi guys. Okay, back in my rendezvousing days, when I was doing living history, what we call trekking, which was basically doing woodscraft, but doing it in the 1750s time period, where you wore historically correct clothing, toted a flintlock, you lived out of a haversack or some sort of bedroll, etc. This was my bush pot for back in them days. And this is a heavy stainless steel one that I got from, I want to say I got it from Dixie Gun Works, but I may have got it out of Crazy Crow. And it was called a corn boiler. And it had a handle that come over here, made it a big mug, okay? And the lid was attached like a tankard. I took the attachment off and I cut off the handle and made it into a bush pot. And I don't want to know how many meals I ate out of this thing. It was my go-to for so long for solo camping. It's perfect size for me because I don't eat a lot at a single meal. Later on, whenever I started doing, well, not started doing both, but I went and started using this in modern camping as well. I would take aluminum foil and I'd put a measured amount of, let's say, instant mashed potatoes and fold it up tight. And then I would make a measured amount of some sort of pasta dish and fold it up tight. And then I'd make some sort of other measured things, rice dishes, whatever. And I could get like 6 of them packed in here. And so when I got to camp and I'm ready to eat, what I'd do is pull them out, put the measured amount of water in here, put it on fire, bring it to boil, open up the aluminum foil and dump it into the pot, stir it up, and I'd have a meal. And I'd clean it up. Once it was done and dry and cool, I'd take my packets and put it back in there. So I'd have like 2 days worth of eating out of that can right there. But times change, etc. But I've been wanting one. So I got this. This is one of them 1 quarts that have just popped up. And it's about the right size. It is a little bit bigger. This one will fit in it, but there's a little bit of space. That ain't quite a quart, but this one's a quart. I like this locking bail on it that'll hold it in position. I like the butterfly handles. They don't lock together like the way I like to do, where you go click and they lock. And I might be able to bend them and make them do that, but they do stay in position pretty well. They don't flop a lot, so they're good and tight. Okay. And then you got the pour spout, which is perfect. So you can use this as a little pot for cooking and do, like I just said, for carrying pre-made up quick meals on the trail. Something to put on the side of a haversack, you know. It's also not too horribly big, and when you fold it down, you can, if you drink from back here, be able to use it like a mug and drink out of it, where this wouldn't be in the way, so to speak. So I can do it like that and come in this space between those two and be able to drink out of it. So it's a big tankard as well. Now the lid just sits on there real well and also locks in. I like that so it don't fall off. and it's a recessed, which means I can put hot coals up here for certain kind of cookings and certain kind of bacons. See, that could be an advantage too. So it's kind of like my old canteen cup, it's a step up. Now, I do like the butterfly handles on it. Well, someone gifted me this and asked me to try it out. And I think it's going to be a worthwhile pot. It seems to be heavy gauge enough, not too thin. And it does seem to be fairly well constructed. I like that the pour spout is small. You know, not too big, so whenever I'm trying to use it for bacon or something, I'm not losing too much heat. I probably could just put a little bit of aluminum foil right there and snap the lid down and hold it. As far as the handles, this would be alright for me to put it sideways as a baker as well, where you just put it like this, run a stick through here to hold it up just a little bit so it's a little higher up in the heat column, and be able to use it as a small reflector for a single biscuit or something like that. The same things I do in my big bush pot. Now I got a little one that's just for me. That 2 quart was great for 2 people, and I've done so many meals with it. But at the same time, it was always just a little too big, and I had, you know, kind of still carried this off and on, to be honest, even though this is heavier than this. So that's going to be. Now, why paint it? I found out a long time ago if I'd spray it with that black paint, soot came off of it a whole lot easier than the stainless steel. Just my 2 cents. It doesn't add anything to it. It's just what you can do. But I will take sandpaper and rough it up, and I'll hit it with 2 coats of that with that black barbecue spray paint. Sit out in the sun, let it cure to a touch, and then I'm going to go put it on a heat source. I'm going to put water into it, and I'm going to bring it to a long boil, and that'll completely cure that paint and make sure it's good to go. It's not on the inside. I let the inside completely stop. It's reason you put it face down onto some surface and spray everywhere else. But it'll just make cleanup a little bit easier, and nobody has to ask, is that Blackie's pot or not? So, you'll probably be seeing this in upcoming videos. Everybody's been wanting me to do more cooking videos, Blackie. Okay, we're going to outfit one of these like I talked about with measured and give it a try so you can get an idea of how it works. That'll be upcoming, but I just want to do a little introduction to the pot. Hope you've enjoyed this content, guys. If you have, hit that like button for me before you go to feed the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.